Teach For Taiwan is a nonprofit organization that's been sending teachers to rural areas since 2013. The organization takes people from a variety of backgrounds and provides them with over 500 hours of training before sending them to rural schools. It then offers follow-up support after the teachers arrive in their classrooms. Employing digital tools and innovative teaching methods, the program has proven to be a great success. Join us as we hear from the program's founder and those involved to learn more about their vision for solving educational inequality.
在台北长大的时候，你就会觉得自己也是一个平凡人。
Motivated by the good fortune of her ordinary city life, this teacher hit the road to bring a better education to rural children.
如果10年后，甚至说不定台北的学生想要去国境之南留学。
With their vision of tackling educational equality, this group of educators is determined to help rural communities break free of the established limitations they face. Driving the highway on Taiwan's west coast, one reaches a place where fish farms and rice paddies dot the landscape. This is Yunlin County's Kohu Township. Taipei-born and raised, Wei Wanling came to this rural school with a passion and a faith in her ability to bring change. She is a homeroom teacher for the school's grade 6 class.
这一次的报道都有看了吧？有。好，所以我们这一周议题就是海洋动物表演秀是否应该要终止。
This class of 6th graders only has 3 students, all girls. Adding the 5th graders from the neighboring classroom, Wei teaches a room of only 5 students. Although small in number, the students fill the class with their voices, fervently discussing the lesson's topic.
In these lessons, we discuss issues brought up in the Mandarin Daily News. Every Monday, there's a report on some social issue, and the kids will discuss that week's topic, arguing either for or against the issue. An example that left a particularly deep impression on me was one week when the paper reported on euthanasia. As an adult, I questioned whether kids that young could understand euthanasia. In the end, they discussed it and they said they supported the use of euthanasia because they respect an individual's right to decide whether they want to live. That was a comment from a grade 6 student.
Pleasantly surprised by the students' response, Wei, who had come to Yunlin as part of the Teach For Taiwan program, was determined to show them more of the world.
在台北长大的时候，你就会觉得自己也是一个平凡人。
When I was growing up in Taipei, I just felt like an ordinary person. I wouldn't think there was anything special about my education or about the environment I was in. However, when you go into remote communities, you feel that there is a huge gap. In terms of their knowledge and their life experiences, compared with those of us who grow up in the city, they aren't able to receive so much cultural stimulation. My mindset when I first joined Teach For Taiwan was that since I had all these stimulating experiences when I was younger, I wanted to bring that to these children.
According to an international student assessment, the gap in literacy of urban and rural children of the same age is widening in Taiwan, with the number of rural students who fall behind being twice that of urban students.
If there aren't enough talented people investing their time in the places where they're most needed, then this hope for educational change won't happen.
In this large lecture hall, more than 50 people are gathered together for a teacher training program. Non-profit organization TFT has been training rural educators since 2014.
I hope that one day our outstanding students will choose to go on and serve society and to make even greater contributions. In that way, our meager strength can be connected to further action and this structural inequality can be changed. However, getting close to that vision requires a sense of urgency. Otherwise, it will just keep getting put off again and again as if it makes no difference if we do anything about it today.
像是一个学校的经营，其实它牵扯到经营管理。
What we do is like operating a school. It requires operational management. For example, I have a background in business management, and in the past, there have been many others with similar backgrounds who have invested in the program. They have given us lots of suggestions and followed us along the way in the development process. So what we want and what we continue to communicate to everyone is, regardless of what your background or field of study is, you can still find an intersection between that and education.
TFT reviews the documents of applicants and conducts online and in-person interviews. It also provides new recruits with 500 hours of pedagogical training.
所以我们来想一下，大家花10秒钟，然后在你的便利贴上写下你觉得什么是成功。
Even after passing the interview process and training, new teachers at TFT must pass public teaching demonstrations in the classroom. Only by passing strict teaching regulations can the new recruit become a substitute teacher at a rural school.
原则上我们还是要再经过
In principle, we still need the new teacher to go through an oral test and a trial lesson. When we first started working with TFT, we asked that they do their best to send teachers with a background in English. After the teacher arrived, we would ask them to do a trial lesson, and then they would take an English language oral test.
Wei, who has a master's degree from National Taiwan University, first learned about the disparity at rural schools while at university, which had a deep impact on her. However, after she began her teaching career, she came to realize that the challenges of the job were even greater than she had imagined.
我从来没有当过国小老师嘛。
Before that, I had never taught elementary school before, so the classes on Mandarin, mathematics, and everything else, it was all new content for me. I remember in September of my first year, right up to October, I was in the teacher's office every day from Monday to Sunday. There was one day when I suddenly had a breakdown. I thought, my God, why does it seem like my whole life is spent in this school?
TFT also provides assistance to teachers in the program when they experience challenges, whether that be related to pedagogy, administrative matters, or communication with parents. TFT strives to inject more resources into rural education, and over nearly 10 years, it has helped more than 6,000 students at 80 schools across 9 cities and counties. According to a survey held in 2020, 77% of those students have achieved the appropriate level of academic ability for their grade through the program, and their self-management and non-cognitive abilities grew by 18% within a year.
其实一般的学校的氛围就是，比如说在讨论的时候。
Normally, at most schools, students won't tend to speak up on their own. However, the TFT teachers will encourage students to raise their hand and speak. It really fosters creativity and thinking outside the box.
The impact of the program is evident in one of its very first students, Wu Ruoan. Wu is now a student in the Department of Spanish Language and Literature at Providence University. Wu is an avid taiko player, and she has formed her own performance troupe. Before she met her teachers from TFT, she never imagined that she would have these experiences.
就是从小就很喜欢唱歌。
Since I was little, I have always enjoyed singing. My parents have said that starting from first grade, whenever we drove somewhere, I would always sing songs in Taiwanese in the car. But back then, I would never sing in front of classmates or the teacher. I was too shy back then. I would never dare go up on stage.
Wu's childhood environment and shyness made her close up. However, all of that slowly changed after she met the teachers from TFT.
其实老师那时候在教我们的时候，
From their teaching, the biggest thing I took away was the establishment of my confidence. They taught in a way that was more like playing games for us. They were closer to our age, so they had a better understanding of what we wanted.
However, as impactful as this program is for young students, each session lasts only 2 years. So what can the teachers leave behind after 2 years with the students? Students take to the stage singing a traditional song, a symbol of their community in the southern tip of Pingdong. Educators from TFT decided to stay after finishing 2 years in the community. They took over an abandoned school dormitory and brought in networking and audiovisual equipment to create a space for educational innovation.
那因为过往可能大家想到恒春半岛，觉得距离太远。
In the past, everyone would consider the Hanchun Peninsula to be too far out of the way, and teachers wouldn't be willing to come here. Even if they did make the trip, it wouldn't be possible for them to come often. So, in creating this space, we thought about how we could make a digital learning environment that incorporates virtual reality.
From offering digital learning opportunities that transcend geography to providing books for local families to read, the Pingdong Education Innovation Hub is an invaluable resource for the county. The hub has equipment and materials and also provides a space for use in all types of educational activities.
因为我觉得教育这件事情
I feel that education is not something that is provided by just teachers, directors, or school principals, but rather it comes from the combined strengths of many. So we have this concept of striving as a group. What we hope to show everyone through the hub is that it's not about one person being able to do many things. The goal is to tie everyone's strengths together.
Through the power of community, educators at TFT and the Pingdong Education Innovation Hub hope to give rural kids a global outlook, to better prepare them for the future and to help them reach their greatest potential.